you have a problem, and the problem is you don't know you have a problem. And the problem and the problem is self-deception.
Wow.
Now, this comes from a book called Leadership and Self-Deception that has become a seminal read for our team, required reading for anyone coming toward our team, wanting to roll with us, wanting to do ministry with us. And it's because it's been so profoundly helpful and so profoundly interruptive.
So I want you to think about a time when you wanted to do good. You had the thought, you needed to make a choice, you had an idea that would benefit someone else, and you chose not to do that. You chose not to honor the idea and follow through on it. So what self-deception is the outcome of a self-betrayal.
So let me give you an example. Super simple.
Okay,
right?
jump in.
Very, very low bar.
Yeah.
I drive up my driveway. Annie's newspaper's on the driveway. I drive right past it, go up to the garage, put my car in the garage. I walk back toward the house, and I see the paper from a distance, and I think to myself, or I don't think to myself, I think to myself, I'm going to ignore the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I got to walk down the driveway, get the paper, walk all the way back up.
Yeah.
Like it's not a quarter mile, like I'd like you to believe. But I choose to silence the prompt
Yes.
that I could pick up Annie's paper and bring it up and put it on the kitchen counter for her. And that would be the opposite
Yeah.
of self-betrayal. When I turn and walk into the kitchen without the paper,
Yeah.
I have now betrayed.
Yeah. So let me flip it.
Go.
Let me flip it and say you have an impulse to do something good, which is to pick up the newspaper. And in some ways, it would be honoring or a blessing or just a nice act of kindness.
Right.
So Annie wouldn't have to. And then you choose not to. That's the self-betrayal. The moment you choose not to do what the impulse or idea suggests. And as a result, your perspective gets distorted. Here's how that works. You actually begin to inflate your own virtue. You exaggerate another person's faults or flaws so you can self-justify and blame the other person. And that is the problem that happens every day. So,
that the punch? Was that the punch in the nose, or was that the punch in the nose?
I think I just got
Because I
punched
know
in
which
the
one
nose.
feels like my nose hurts.
Because wait, check this out. Right, so look, so the cartoon bubble over my head is she can get her own paper.
yeah, there you
It's
go.
not my paper anyway. I'm paying for the thing, so she can read it.
Yeah.
And I got to get up to my office because I got to
You're
get my
busy.
day started. Yeah, I got lots to do.
of important
has,
things to do.
Yeah, and she has less important things to do.
Yeah.
From my framework.
Yeah.
You know, from my paradigm, my worldview.
Yeah.
Which is freaking distorted.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. But you can feel self-justified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Or longer.
So imagine, and this is a true story, so imagine back in the day when our three sons were very small. And I hear one of our sons crying in the middle of the night.
Like a baby? At a baby?
Well, yeah, just a small child.
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
yeah. Could have been a baby. I don't remember their age. But I think it was Carter. I remember hearing Carter cry. And I awaken, hear his cry, and I think to myself, I could get up and attend to whatever it is that's bothered him. Change his diaper, give him a bottle, whatever. And I lay there and think to myself, well, wait a minute. Here's the betrayal coming, right? Here, you can see it. Well, wait a minute. I've got to go to work tomorrow. I'm a senior pastor. I've got responsibilities. I need my rest. Becky's home all day. I gotta be careful here, but back in the day, I mean, she has,
stay-at-home
in
mom.
my mind, plenty of capacity, and she's better at it. So I'm talking myself out of doing something that was really thoughtful or helpful or beneficial for Becky.
Let her sleep.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm betraying myself,
Oh, I hear it.
and it sets me up to go through this very quick, sophisticated analysis of why I shouldn't do what I thought I should do.
Wow.
And so my perspective is distorted, and I'm self-justifying. I am having conversations in my own brain, but it's coming from my heart.
The deceitfully wicked one?
You're familiar with
Oh, boy. I've met you before.
Sometimes we see in others the very thing about
No,
ourselves.
I'm not saying that.
That's a different episode.
Just
That's a
so
different
we're-
episode.
Just so we're clear.
I just noticed it
And,
in you before, yeah.
Which is actually pretty powerful. We do have a tendency to notice it a lot
In others.
other people
Yeah.
than ourselves. So I'm glad you see it in
Not-
yourself, Kirk. You started with your analogy of passing over the paper. I'm just playing along.
This pristine art?
It's above all desperately wicked, is what the scripture says.
Oh, that's true.
There you go. So anyway, what happens over time is I can train myself to stay out of the box. But before we get there, I want you to imagine what happens when you are in the box towards someone else, and then they feel that sense of judgment, accusation, assumption,
Right.
and they're offended.
They return the favor.
And they return the favor. What I like to say is you get what you emit. And so when I'm emitting judgment, accusation,
yeah. All that.
all that, assumption, then they feel it and sense it. They then return the favor. And
You're
now
provoking them into their box.
I'm inviting them
Yeah.
to be in their own box, which
Yeah.
is self-deceive. And now we have a unique opportunity where, get this, we're mutually mistreating each other.
A whole kind of mess.
And the authors call that collusion. We say it's happening all the time, particularly in church life, because we're not immune to this human interaction and behavior.
How do we get out of the box?
Yeah. When I find myself in the box, I can choose to honor the choice to do something good for someone else
The choice that you dishonored.
that I had dishonored that
landed you
got
in
me
the
in the
box.
box.
There you
That's
go.
how I get out of the box. The moment I act towards that impulse or desire or thought or action, amazingly, I'm out of the box. So think about this. I'm out of the box with a lot of people in my own life. But occasionally I'm in the box with a couple people.
At the same time, you're out with others.
At the same time I'm out with
There you
others.
go.
So I know I'm capable
Yeah.
of being out of the box anytime I choose to honor it. And I think that's a really profound understanding. The question is, why would I not honor the choice? What's going on inside me? And that's where I'm back to my heart is either at peace with that individual, my wife, my children, my colleague, my coworker, my neighbor,
Kirk.
or my heart, I'm going to illustrate, or my heart is at war. John, you stepped on my you sabotaged my
The punchline.
the
dude.
punchline. I was going to punch
Gonna
you.
conclude this whole episode.
That's it. That's all we
With
got.
this.
That's all we got to
That's
say
it,
about
folks.
this.
There's nothing else to say.
That's
My
all,
heart
folks.
is at war with some people, but
And
I'm
it's
really
hard.
at peace with
And it's
others.
hard being on the other end of that. I'm gonna tell you.
Kirk's chair just starts scooting away.
Right.
Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that it really comes down. So what we do in relationship is we always want to make it about the other person.
Yeah.
Oh, the reason I'm the way I am is because of them.
Right.
Wow.
What they're not
Yep.
doing, what they are doing, what
Right.
she's not saying, what she is saying.
That seems so central. That feels so
And the
central.
key
It's the
is to
external.
say, wait a minute, I actually get to choose how I'm going to be